Hello and welcome to the latest instalment of GBN America with me, Patrick Christys. Now, we have an extremely special guest today. This guy is Cenk Uygur. Now, he is running to be the Democrat presidential candidate. I think a lot of people will know this guy, especially for his work as the co-founder of the Young Turks, which is a very progressive news commentary show, the longest running online news programme as well. A fascinating individual, and we've got a heck of a lot to talk about because we are living in fascinating political times. Cenk, how are you?
Great. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I have to ask, first and foremost, it says here that you were born in Istanbul in Turkey in 1970. Can you actually be president?
Yes. So I believe I can. That's going to be tested in the courts, and we're in the middle of testing that now. So there is a clause in the original Constitution that says that you have to be a natural-born citizen, which I am not. But the 14th Amendment of the Constitution amended a lot of the discriminatory parts of the original Constitution, and it said all persons born or naturalized have due process and equal protection. So I think we have an excellent case that original part of the Constitution has been amended out, and that naturalized citizens are 100% American and have all of the same rights as any other U.S. citizen.
I mean, that would be a massive change to the way that you guys do politics over there, wouldn't it, really? So you'll be testing that in the courts. Why are you running then? What kind of agenda are you running on? What's your ticket? What are your core policies? Go on.
Yeah, so as a progressive, my number one issue is always the donor money. In America, we legalize bribery. You can give literally hundreds of millions of dollars to politicians. It theoretically goes into their campaigns, but they often funnel money out for themselves, besides which they use it for power, fame, status, etc. It's open auction to buy all of our politicians. That's why we keep starting wars in the Middle East, because the defense contractors and the oil companies, et cetera, gain tremendously from it. Our media in America is a joke. They never talk about the donor money, which is what controls about 98% of politics. Now, having said that, these days, there are a lot of pressing issues, for example, Gaza. And I'm a rare candidate in America that says that I would send $0 to Israel if they continue the war and the occupation. I don't think that they're a good ally at all. And I think they've inflamed the entire world against America. In domestic policy, the American people want so many things that are very, very popular. Both Republicans and Democrats agree with: paid family leave, higher minimum wage, lower drug prices. And our politicians are crooks, so they never, ever give it to them, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. So there's a lot to fix. And good news is the American people...
Would you say the same, just out of interest, would you say the same for Ukraine as well? Would you say the same for Ukraine as well? Is it all foreign aid for you, or is it just aid that's going towards Israel?
No, it of course requires nuance, and each situation is a little bit different. So in Ukraine, Russia was the imperialist power that invaded Ukraine, and we had an obligation to defend Ukraine. Now, at this point, though, $60 billion is the latest proposal to send over to them. But you have to understand, it doesn't actually go to Ukraine. It goes to defense contractors, and then they send their used and old weapons over to Ukraine. So, if I'm president, I would get all of the intelligence on that and say, okay, yes, but what do they actually need? And do they really need all this money, or is this just because of the bribes that the defense contractors give politicians?